Ash Parrish, a video game reporter at The Verge, as well as a Sweet Baby Inc. defender, has appeared to endorse the assassination of President Donald Trump. This is absolutely despicable and vile, and I think she should be immediately fired from The Verge. They should not be tolerating people on their payroll who are calling for this kind of disgusting, evil political violence. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trump Report. Also, hit that like button. Let's make sure more people see this and it goes through the YouTube algorithm. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And Parrish made her comments in the wake of an assassination attempt against President Donald Trump on Saturday when he was attending a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, which is located outside of Pittsburgh. The assassin's bullet failed to kill President Donald Trump, but pierced his ear. While the assassin failed to assassinate him, he did murder Corey Comparatore, who used his body to shield his wife and daughter who were at the rally with him. The assassin also wounded David Dutch and James Copenhaver, according to Pennsylvania State Police. If you want to see the video, I have included it here in this article, which you can find a link to in the description below. So not only did she apparently endorse the assassination attempt, but it comes in the wake of Jack Black canceling his Tenacious D tour and claiming he was blindsided by his band member Kyle Gass, who wished that a second assassin would not, quote, miss Trump next time. At a concert event for their Spicy Meatball tour in Sydney, Australia, Black's band Tenacious D celebrated the birthday of member Kyle Gass with Black singing happy birthday and a birthday cake being delivered by a man in a robot costume. Black then informs Gass to make a wish. Gass then says, "Don't miss Trump next time." Much of the crowd begins laughing and chuckling. The video concludes with Black saying, "Thank you." Let's take a listen here.
Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
So there you have it. You can hear him saying thank you. He has now issued a statement, Jack Black has, on Instagram this morning, announcing the end of Tenacious D's tour and claiming he was blindsided by Gass's actions. This is what he wrote. "I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful to the fans for their support and understanding." So that was Black's statement. Parrish initially reacted to his statement, writing, "Jack, no," reacting to Variety's coverage of it. And then in another post, she wrote this: "That Nintendo DreamWorks check got him acting foolish. Hate to see it." Obviously referring to him being the voice of Bowser in the Super Mario Brothers movie. And then obviously, I think potentially in the upcoming, I think he has a role to play in the upcoming Minecraft. And then also he obviously plays the panda. I forget what those movies are called, but he plays this. He voices this panda in a movie series that has like 4 or 5 films in it. She then appeared to endorse the assassination attempt. So ex-user Corliss responded to this post that she said, it says, "From context, I'm assuming KG, Kyle Gass, said what we all know should have happened. And then Parrish replied something like that. Obvious, they're talking about the assassination attempt. They were wishing that Trump was indeed killed. And she is affirming that right there, something like that. Clear endorsement, in my opinion, of an assassination attempt. There's no word games around this. That's exactly what she is trying to say. And she should indeed be fired by The Verge for this. It's absolutely despicable and disgusting. We should not be tolerating this kind of speech from individuals like Ash Parrish. And The Verge should not either. She actually would indeed follow this up, though, and admitted that she was in favor of political violence. She said, "Listen, I'm not one of those people who's going to say violence has no place in politics. Violence in politics is," I think she meant to say literally, or I'm not sure if she's doing a pun here or what she's trying to do. It says literally baked into the foundation of this country. It is inextricable. Nothing good we have earned as a country came peacefully, period. That's absolutely not true. There are plenty of things that came to this country through things that were peaceful. No clue what she is even talking about right there. Just despicable behavior right there. Obviously advocating for political violence and endorsing it again. In another post, she said this: "What has happened isn't some shocking anomaly. It is the logical conclusion of American life. Violence walks with us in our daily lives, explicit and subtle in capitalism, healthcare, child rearing, and the simple ways we mistreat our fellow human beings." Let's start there, maybe. Yes, let's start there, Ash Parrish. Maybe you shouldn't be advocating for violence against your fellow human being. I mean, the projection is extremely strong with this one right here. It's sick. It's disgusting. And again, like I said, she should be fired for these comments. Has no place I would think, at a website like The Verge. Maybe The Verge actually endorses that, and then if they do, they should make that clear as well, so people know that maybe they should be throttled, maybe they should be removed from algorithms for pushing such kind of disgusting, evil comments. In another post, she wrote this. She's responding to this person saying, "The opportunities and advantages that you are blessed with were only possible by you being in this country. You should be grateful to have been born here. But hey, keep complaining. That's what you do best." And she said, "Oh, hard disagree. What this country has taken and continues to take from me and mine will never, ever compare to what it has allegedly given me. My country ain't special. I am, though." So no clue what she's even talking about here. Clearly sounds like she is anti-American. She goes on and says, "America has been specifically and meticulously constructed to block progress for all but cishet white men." So there she is using pejoratives. I think this is an admission that she is indeed a racist, and she's probably a misandrist as well. "Everything I am and have done has been done in spite of this country, not because of it." Doesn't list any examples of that either. But clearly, I think she's anti-American, and she's also admitting here that she is a racist and a misandrist as well. Clearly using pejoratives when describing white men there as well. So just disgusting, disgusting behavior. And it fits to a T what Bishop Barron discusses about people who are woke ideologues, people who push wokeism. I've brought this up multiple times in previous videos, but I'm going to continue to hammer it because this is what these people are. And we see examples of it over and over and over again from people like Ash Parrish. But this is what he said in an interview with Angelus News. He says, "First, they advocate a deeply antagonistic social theory whereby the world is divided sharply into the two classes of oppressors and oppressed. Second, they relativize moral value and see classical morality as an attempt by the ruling class to maintain itself in power. Third, they focus not so much on the individual as on racial and ethnic categories, and hence they endorse the idea of collective guilt and recommend a sort of reverse discrimination to address the injustices of the past." I mean, to a T, all these posts made within like the past couple of hours fit what Bishop Barron is talking about here. Fourth, they tend to demonize the market economy and the institutions of democracy as part of a superstructure defending the privileged. Fifth, they push toward equity of outcome throughout the society rather than equality of opportunity. And finally, wokeism employs divisive and aggressive strategies of accusation that are contrary to the gospel demand to love our enemies. Suffice it to say that Catholic social teaching stands athwart all of this. It wants social justice, of course, but not on woke terms. Its heroes are not Marx, Nietzsche, and Foucault, but rather Isaiah, Amos, Jeremiah, Jesus the Lord, Ambrose, Aquinas, and Teresa of Calcutta. Obviously referring to Mother Teresa, who is now a canonized saint. So that's exactly what Ash Parrish is doing here. Fits it to a T. You can see she's using, how does he describe it? The divisive and aggressive strategies right there, referring to white men. And obviously, anti-American, talks about capitalism. Violence walks with us, is in our daily lives, explicit and subtle in capitalism. I mean, fits exactly to a T. And again, unfortunately, this is no surprise because, I mean, she is an admitted liar, and she admitted to lying to push a woke narrative when it came to defending Sweet Baby Inc. Specifically, she admitted to intentionally removing any coverage of Sweet Baby Inc.'s harassment campaign against Brazilian gamer Cabrutus Rambo, as well as comments made by Sweet Baby Inc. CEO Kim Belair regarding her aims for the video game industry, where she admitted she was indeed pushing woke ideology, and she wanted to take over the video game industry with this ideology. And she did all of this in order to paint Sweet Baby Inc. in a good light. She didn't want to make it look like Sweet Baby Inc. were the villains, which they are. They are the villains. They are indeed trying to push woke ideology, and they were attacking Cabrutus Rambo for standing authoritative. And so there's a lot of information here. These posts DMs were shared by this guy. You read this wrong, posted them on X. If you want to read all of them, you can. Here, like I said, I'll have the link in the description below. But I think that there's a part right here that kind of like really highlights it, where she explains what she was trying to do. Let me see if I can find it here. Where she talks about how her editors are doing this right here. Yeah, she said she was instructed by her editors at The Verge to lie and omit the information to frame gamers as racist and misogynist. She said this: "I'll share the conversation I had with my editors about this because in preparation for my piece, I struggle with this particular bit, and the conversation I had really helped me understand Cabrutus and his ilk have a grievance against Sweet Baby Inc. that is rooted in racism and misogyny and has no basis in the reality of how video game development works. That's it, period. And when you get into the nitty gritty of who did what when, not obviously the who's and what's that are necessary to explaining the story, the central premise gets lost. And me personally, I have to remember what my piece is ultimately about. And it's not about providing a timeline of events. It's bigger than that. It's about explaining that the reason you're hearing about this company called Sweet Baby and Gamergate 2.0 getting thrown around is because there's a group of people who decided they hate woke video games and found a convenient scapegoat to target and a larger conspiracy to underpin it. It's not a conspiracy. It's literally all documented. We have evidence of Kim Belair's comments. Again, like I said, she is lying, and she's ultimately lying to herself as well here, is what it looks like. With that big picture thesis, those smaller details, even the ones considered important to the players involved, become largely immaterial to the story. Like, what is she even talking about? She's like, these things that are actually really important have no matter to the story because I'm just trying to paint Sweet Baby Inc. as the victims so you can see them as the real heroes of this. And she goes on and says, Kindred's tweets and his gloating, however bad or ill-advised they might be, is not the fulcrum which this story is made or broken. And I understand why you don't see it that way, why others have the anger that they do about it. And I'd urge you to think about it this way. This story, mine, Kotaku's, everybody else's, really, honestly, isn't even about Sweet Baby. It's not about defending them or protecting them specifically. It's bigger than that. It's about explaining to readers that there's a group of people trying to fight another culture war within the video game space, just like 10 years ago. And they're using the same language and playbook, targeting the same kinds of people. But fundamentally, this movement isn't going to have the same outcome it did last time. These cultural warriors are like Don Quixotes and have picked a fight they've already lost. That's absolutely not true. We've actually already won the fight. Christ is on our side. He has defeated Satan when he sacrificed himself on the cross for us, descended into hell, defeated Satan, and rose again on the third day, opening the gates to heaven and allowing us to have the opportunity to live with him in glory for all time. We have won. Christ has won. We just have to submit ourselves to him, align our wills to his. So she's the absolute opposite here, trying to say that we've already lost. It's absolutely not true. We've actually already won. The opposite is true in this case. She then noted what she was going to explain why, but she never does. Instead, she says, that's the story. That's really the only story here. So you can see that she is a giant liar and admits to lying in order to push this woke ideology. And now she is apparently endorsing an assassination attempt against the president of the United States. Absolutely sick, absolutely disgusting. People like this should not have a place in civil society. I do not think she should be working at The Verge. I think she should be fired from her job. I actually think that maybe Elon Musk and X should take action against her as well. I find this behavior absolutely despicable. And anyone trying to say, oh, she has free speech, well, that's not how free speech works. She is clearly trying to push something evil, and we do not have the quote-unquote free speech to push evil. Free speech is aimed towards what is good and true. And sure, you can have maybe you get something wrong, but if your aim is to try to do something good and true, you can still do that. But that's not what she's doing here. She's actively calling for, in my opinion, another assassination attempt against President Donald Trump and endorsing the one that did take place. It's sick, it's evil, it's disgusting, and like I said, has no place in civil society. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.